Today is a special day, and I'm not just saying that because it's the 29th of February in-game, which is a leap year extra day. This day only comes around once every 4 years. I'm saying it because it's Friday, my dudes. It's Friday. You got to get down on Friday. And, well, we've got to get down to business. It's the EFL Cup final. That is why we're here. Manchester United, Crystal Palace. For all the years where we've had cup competition runs and we've gone far, we've never made it this far before. It's uncharted territory. A win here. We'll be playing Conference League football next season. The board expectation was to reach the semi-finals. We've done one better than that. Unfortunately for us, we are taking on a rather good Manchester United side. A Manchester United side that, if we just look at the past winners, have won the competition the last 3 years in a row. Can we end their dominance? We're going to find out today. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to Park to Prem. This is episode number 10. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. I'm hoping I'm going to be a cup final winner by the end of this. Today, we are taking on Manchester United. I feel like as the former FC United and Manchester manager, I'm probably slightly hated by Manchester United fans for leaving FC United and for what I did with I want to say their rivals, but in reality, FC United was built up by Manchester United fans. So I imagine there's a lot of FC United fans who still like Manchester United. Either way, it's a big occasion. I thought it'd be nice just to start on my manager profile here and look at my characteristics and attributes, because one thing that I've not really talked about in the last couple of years is that I have slowly but surely been working on my coaching badges. We are currently studying our Continental B. You can see the traits here. They always seem to bug out in Football Manager. I have no idea why, but apparently I like to sign younger players for the future 3 times over. Is it a case of the more times it's written out, the more it means that that's a thing? Because to be fair, with the amount of young players I sign for the future and the first team, having it listed like 6 times, it's probably a fair reflection, really. And because I know people like to sometimes take a look at stuff like this, here is our club manager history page thing. You can see here, 3 jobs as manager, 0 days on holiday. Our total game time is 3,711 days. Highest fee spent was for Juan Pablo da Silva. I think it's safe to say this man has justified his price tag this year. 17 goals in the league, 10 assists in the league as well, continuing to develop. I'm in love with him. He is Captain Fantastic for us, leading the line out on the left-hand side. As for the biggest sale, Candido to Everton, where he has played 27 games, and it'd be fair to say he's not done as well as he did for us in the Championship. Am I sad that we sold him for 60 million? Yes. Have we missed him that much this year? I mean, when you look at the league table, it'd be hard to make a case for it. Now, before we look at the league table, here are the fixtures since you were last here. Lots of games played. We are, of course, today in the cup final. As for other cup stuff going on, we are still in the FA Cup. We're in the 5th round, where I was thinking we'd come back for a double header and it'd be a big, sexy game in the 5th round. It's not big. It's not sexy. We're taking on League One Crew. So a game that I expect us to win. They are managed by Neil Lennon, which is a little bit of a weird one. So the cup run could continue in the FA Cup just a little bit, but today we're going to have our firm focus on the EFL Cup, because as you can see here in the league, we're still winning quite a lot. In fact, since we were last here, we've kept a ridiculous number of clean sheets and scored a ridiculous number of goals. You can see here, West Brom, a 2-0 win. Garajaga and Da Silva getting the goals. Against Luton, a 4-2 win. Talby, Ida getting on the score sheet here, rotating the team constantly. This second half of the season really has been a balancing act. And the good news is we were able to rotate things for today's cup final and still managed to get a win. We'll talk about that in a moment, because against Watford, we won 1-0. We didn't even score in this game ourselves, although I guess we kind of did. We missed a penalty, actually. Da Silva in the 3rd minute missed one. Then Amadou Ba, yeah, remember him? Former FC United man, went to Watford for 2.3 million last year. He was involved in this game here, getting a booking, but another former player of ours was also involved in this game, a former Manchester United man. You might remember Kalani. He was at the club when I arrived at Crystal Palace last year, and I terminated his loan. He's probably done the biggest contribution he's ever done for my Crystal Palace team in this game here. He scored an own goal. We won 1-0. From there, back-to-back 2-0 wins against AFC Bournemouth and Middlesbrough. We then took on Brentford in the FA Cup 4th round. Da Silva grabbed a brace. Middleby also getting 2 goals. He recently picked up Young Player of the Month in the Championship. 5 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 games. It's weird. He seems to either train and develop amazingly and play badly on the pitch, or He goes on a good run of games, and then we get all these red arrows where he starts training badly. Maybe eventually he'll get the balancing act of training and playing well in matches figured out, but for now, he's doing it on the pitch, which I'm not really going to complain about all that much. What I will complain about, however, is our third draw of the season in the league. Yes, we've only dropped points in 3 games. This was one of them. It was against Wolves. They had 1 shot on target. It went in. To be fair, they nullified us very, very well. We didn't create enough in this game. You can see the team was, I guess, slightly rotated. Severin playing at centre attacking mid. He did actually get on the score sheet, the young Polish striker. Of course, this chap played mostly out on the right-hand side for us, but he's filled in a few different positions. He's actually done exceptionally well considering how often he's come on off the bench. 15 starts, 13 appearances from the bench, and from those games, 14 goals, 10 assists, 6 player of the matches. Yeah, the goals are just coming from absolutely everyone, and Severin has surprised me actually with how well he has done. After the draw against Wolves, 3 more games, QPR beaten 4-0, Cardiff beaten 5-1, and most recently, Pompey, midweek game prior to the cup final, we beat 2-1. Wasn't the most convincing of performances in terms of the scoreline, but overall it was a top quality performance. 2 goals in the last 10 minutes ensured that we got the win here. Ferguson scoring a penalty and Kazoo getting on the score sheet as well. You'll notice from the personnel on the pitch here, quite a lot of rotation going on. That's so we're fully prepared for today. Now, we've known this for a while, but we are in a bit of a weird predicament when it comes to the league. We are guaranteed a playoff spot. There's still 10 games left of the season. It's the end of February. We need 1 point in our last 10 games of the season, and we're promoted. And I think we can actually win the league sooner rather than later. We're currently on 102 points. We've absolutely dominated this league. It's been quite fun to watch in a weird way, but I'm glad we're not going to be sticking around for too long. The team's performances have been good. Defensively, we've looked great. The tactic has looked more than solid. Of course, it got a bit of a further test, I suppose, last episode against Southampton. Today's going to be another pretty good test for our 4-3-3 against Manchester United. It's perhaps worth noting that the record points in a season is 114 by Fulham. That was set, well, not that long ago, a couple of years ago. They also got 36 wins in that season. Right now, we have 33 wins with 10 games remaining. So if we can get, 4 more wins, we'll break a few records, both for points total and for wins in a year. Yeah, we've been ridiculous. I've been pretty excited by what I've seen. Obviously, the fact we've made it to a cup final equally as exciting. I find it quite amusing that despite how great we've been, the board are disappointed with the set pieces, disappointing with the counter-attacking football, and as a result, have only given me a B. I mean, just can't please them, really. Just having a little look at the competition overview for the championship, you can see here just how dominant we've been. In terms of goal scoring, we don't have the top goal scorer. Esteban Vera for Wolves is the top scorer. The 23-year-old doesn't look that amazing, at least compared to some of our players. By all accounts, he's a very good championship player, but I feel like just with how good our players are, every other player in the championship just don't really look that great. You can see Gorojaga leading the way in terms of our players with 24 goals, but De Silva's got 17, Severin has 14. If we scroll further down, you can see here Nathan Young-Coombs, but signed for FC United for 3.5 million, has 13 goals and 7 assists for them. And if you're wondering, where are FC United, Jack? Good news, everyone. They're up to 15th. They are climbing. They're doing quite well. It's been exciting to see them go on a good little run of form. They should be safe for another season. Just going back to some of the player stats, just because it's quite amusing to look at as much as anything, you can see here the average ratings for the season. The top 8 players are all ours. I'm a little bit disappointing the kind of dominance doesn't extend further down. It'd be nice to have all 20 players be our own. That would be very difficult to do. I'm sure someone watching is thinking, yeah, I've done that. It was easy. I don't believe you that it was easy. I do think it's probably possible. Maybe slightly beyond reach this year. One great thing, I suppose, to note about all these players is plenty of younger players. And Graham Franklin, one of the players sneaking in. The 19-year-old, of course, signed this year for significant money. I tried to give him a lot of first-team football. In fact, he's had 12 starts in the league. So that really is a testament to how much we have rotated things around. And as a result of all that rotation, for the most part, everyone's happy. People are getting the game time they want. No one's getting overplayed and kind of worked into the ground. Team cohesion's good. Atmosphere is excellent. Everyone loves me. And you can see here the social groups and the hierarchy are starting to figure themselves out. De Silva, our captain, is now one of the team leaders. Elsewhere, we've got players like Henier, Ferguson, Richards, Kone, players who quite like me and I quite like them. nicely high and influential. And we have now got to the point that when players come to me crying about things, I just point to De Silva and say, can you deal with it? He goes and has a chat with them, and then miraculously, they're no longer unhappy. Of course, it's all very easy in Football Manager when you're winning to get good morale and for things to be going our way. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to, I suppose, capitalise on this ridiculous morale, the ridiculous form that we're on, and cause a monumental upset today. Speaking of which, I've delayed the inevitable, I'll get my words out eventually, for long enough. Shall we go take on Manchester United? So in terms of team news for today's game, unfortunately, suspensions and injuries playing a factor in my selection. Ferguson, who would have probably been on the bench, a very good penalty taker, should it come to that, unfortunately is suspended. And elsewhere, McIntosh, our first choice right back, is both injured and suspended. He's got the double whammy at once, which is quite impressive. So he wouldn't have been able to play even if he was well behaved on the pitch. He has accumulated too many yellow cards, 5 in the league. He's unavailable. As a result, it's a big day for Shackleton to slot in at right back for us. The 32-year-old, though, very experienced individual, more than adequate, I feel like, as a championship player at right back. Of course, taking on a Manchester United team today, it's a slightly different task. Elsewhere in the team, we've got Ruiz in goal, a player who, of course, joined us last January, has cemented his spot as the #1 goalkeeper. Hasn't developed a load since he's joined the club, but at 22 years old, he has joined to be a backup, which is quite nice, really, because it means if a better goalkeeper becomes available, we could call upon them. Equally, he's doing quite well so far. 19 clean sheets in 36 games. He is on course to break the championship record. I feel like whilst he can take some of the credit, a lot of it has to go to the defenders that have been, well, a massive part of our team this year. Marcus Tullio had interest in him in January. In the end, we were able to shake it all off. He did have a release clause that I wasn't aware of 38 million. No one came close to that, thankfully. Elsewhere, Omobamidele, of course, one of our first signings when we joined the club, signed for 9 million. Looks like an absolute bargain now. He's on a 7.8 rating for this year. He has, I suppose, I feel like been inspired by Candido. He's been the Candido of this season at the back, just the standout defender. And of course, out on the left-hand side, we got in Omar Richards on a free transfer. What a free transfer it's turned out to be. 6 assists, 1 player of the match, 7.28 rating for him. Into the midfield, it's Valdir and Kone, 2 players who, to begin the season, didn't play alongside each other very much due to injury and just due to suspensions and stuff. The good news is they are both back in the team today, and into the final third we go, where for the first time in forever it feels like Henia is available. He, of course, broke his hand, missed a fair few games. To be fair, he's played more games as of late. In fact, he's played 7 of the last 8 for us, but put in some pretty good performances. Maybe not quite to the standard that he had prior to his injury, but maybe he can come big in the big occasion today. Out on the right side, we've got Garajaga. Out on the left, we've got De Silva. Worth noting that both inside forwards just getting a ridiculous number of goals for us. And as for Middleby in the middle, as I've already talked about, he's played well lately. 5 goals in his last 5. More of that today, please. Over on the bench, we've got Franklin, the young English centre-back, Matayev, our Kazakhstanian left-back, who can also play right-back. Always useful to have that kind of player on the bench. One new addition that we did sign in January, Stajano, was looking for a ball-winning midfielder, someone who could also maybe play the box-to-box midfielder role. We picked him up for 6.25 million, played 5 games, 7.5 rating. Very useful player to have on the bench, I feel like, for whenever Valdir gets booked and I get scared. Santiago, Horvat, Kayazo, Sane, Severin and Taubi, the other players that make up our 9-man bench. Lots of young talent there, lots of players who maybe aren't quite ready for a cup final, but plenty of chances perhaps for them to come on off the bench and become heroes, write themselves down into Crystal Palace folklore if we can get the win at Wembley today. Anyway, I've hyped this game up enough. This is just a 1-match episode today, but there was lots to catch you up on. I wanted to big up the occasion, set the stage, really talk us through our team. In terms of the team that we're going up against, of course, Manchester United's team, very, very good. Some familiar names there. They've got Sancho and Rashford up top. Andre Gomez in the midfield. Elsewhere, they've got Tagir, our former man at centre-back. Of course, we sold him for 38 million. Would be interesting to see if we can get one over on him. Dean Henderson takes the armband in goal, and Wesley Fofana also in at centre-back. So, yeah, I mean, when you look at those names, they are slightly, I want to say, better than our names on paper. I mean, there's a reason Manchester United have won this competition the last 3 years in a row. You can see how they're going to line up here with their team. It's a rather good team, isn't it? Look, they're competing where we want to be next year in the Premier League, I suppose is the way of looking at it. They have struggled in the league, Manchester United, but I think the top 7 in the Premier League are separated by like 6 points. It's crazily close at the top. So I would not be surprised to see them have a few tired legs here. It looks like they have rotated things around, unfortunately for us. Just as a little refresher, Tagir, left centre-back for them, we sold for 38 million. He's not played much for them. He's not been very good. Maybe he's a secret agent. Also, Manu Kone has picked up a knock early on. I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away, as we could be called into some defensive action here at Wembley. Ball pulled back to Sancho, who hits it, and Ruiz gets a hand to it, and it just goes in. It's a short, snappy highlight inside the first 15 minutes. It's not exactly what I wanted to see from the first highlight of the match either. Oh, it's a throw-in. It's worked down the wing on this near side, and then Sancho played inside, hits it. Ruiz, just shot stopping. Hasn't helped there. He's got a hand on it. It might have even been going over. I don't want to consider that, but it might have been going over. He got a palm on it, and it ended up going in the back of the net. For a second, I thought we might have half a chance from the set piece, but the ball in, straight down Dean Henderson's throat, who's now going to look to get it forward here for Manchester United. A setback for us early on. We've got to try and assess the situation, relax, and we'll hopefully bounce back here as they are on the offensive again, Manchester United. Having a fair amount of the ball so far in this game. Sancho nods it inside. Sancho back to Tagir. I'm willing, or at least trying to will, a Tagir howler into existence. I want him to make an awful error. And, we might have a chance here because the ball has been given away. Gorojaga plays it forward. De Silva's there at the far side. Can he finish it from the tight angle? The Peruvian prince, of course he can. From one top goal scorer to the second top goal scorer. From one wing to the other. The ball here by Gorojaga, by the way, is absolutely mad. Of course, he's right-footed, playing on the right as an inside forward. I feel like if he didn't have a good right foot there, no way he pulls off that pass. That is the response that we wanted, and with that, it's time to usher some words of encouragement. Manchester United having a lot of the ball. We've created the odd chance here and there, but the first shot on target for us has found the back of the net, and this has been a final so far that's been bogged down in the midfield. Shackleton, Manu Kone, Gorojaga now with it. He's dispossessed, but we still have it. Middleby, he couldn't quite find the pass through. It's now with Manchester United. Fofana at the back to Tagir. Manchester United having a lot more of the ball than I would like, really, especially with how we like to approach football. And while they might have a chance here, Aronson is through. And he's wandered around Ruiz, who has just not looked very good today. I don't want to throw any individuals under the bus, but at the moment I'm just, I'm giving Ruiz a little nudge in the back. That is, Ball over the top, Hansen Aronen gets in. Of course, we've got to remember, we're taking on one of the best Premier League sides here. This is a good test for us. We're a goal down after 35 minutes. The scoreline is 2-1. Clinical finishing shown by both teams. A game that hasn't had a load of chances in it. Does feel like at the break, we are going to go in a goal down unless Henier, could he score a free kick? For a second, I believed. For a moment, unfortunately, the woodwork hit, it goes over. At half-time, we've had more shots than them, but equally the XG for our chances hasn't been anywhere near as good. I'm going to change things a little bit here. I'm going to get rid of work ball into the box, and I'm also going to go to attacking, which is a bit of a gamble, I'll confess, but I do feel like it's worth going a little bit more aggressive, I suppose, when we do have the ball and getting rid of work ball into the box. At least in this game right now, we're not having nearly enough of the ball. Elsewhere, I'm actually going to just tell the players to go a little bit wider with our play too. Manu Kone on a booking concerns me. I'm going to bring in Stajano, I think, the new signing. He is going to play the box-to-box midfielder role for us, which he can do. He's not the best player going forward. He is very, very good at winning back the ball here as a ball-winning midfielder. But I'm not going to play two ball-winning midfielders. But certainly his defensive kind of element of his game is solid. And I think that could be very useful in this kind of game, especially if we are going to go more attacking, to really have two solid centre mids who we can rely on to defend, as we might be called into some defending here. Gomez, oh my word. It's another free kick that hits the woodwork, and we can't quite deal with. The ball hits the back of the net. Sancho hits it, hits the woodwork. We head it away from danger initially, but we just don't get it away, and it's hammered home at the near post. I'm chinning my microphone. I'm just upset. I'm just angry. You know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. I've got a plan. I think if I just hit this button here, I'm turning on the stand-up desk. I'll stand up and be counted. Also, this is going to work. This is the play. Some managers, in the tactical moments, they go to the tactics screen. I just put up my standing desk and stand up. Right, now I've got freedom to move and be agitated and angry with what I'm watching. Middle B's not been good enough here. I'm going to take him off and bring in Severin. I'm going to move De Silva up top, then move Gurajaga onto the left. It's a bit of a shuffle round in a circle of our three attacking players. Henia has not been great, but I don't want to use all our subs just yet. Concerned about Shackleton on a booking, but I don't have another right-back that I really trust. Unless I was to play Mateev out on the right, even though he's left-footed. I mean, that is the play to go with, but I don't really want to use a sub on Shackleton right now. You know what? Let's get rid of distribute to centre-backs. Let's distribute it to the flanks and throw it long. Try and get it forward in the wide areas quicker. Try and stretch the play more. Still plenty of time left in this game. 35 minutes and counting. We concede again, though. We are going to be in trouble. Stoyano! Stoyano! That might be the first and last time he ever plays in a live commentary. How has he got sent off in a cup final like that? I just feel sad. I mean, at this point, it's kind of a free hit. We are down a man. We're down 2 goals. We need a miracle at Wembley. It's probably not going to happen. Stoyano, thank you, mate. Thank you. I'm delighted. Really happy with his contribution, the 19-year-old. What a live commentary debut. Yeah, we're going to go with this. The logic being that Santiago as a Mazzala can maybe create some width. Severin can support De Silva, who's now going to play as an advanced forward. I mean, looking at the XG, looking at the chances, I feel like everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. But look, there's still time. Let's believe. Severin could be through. He attempts to dink the keeper. Oh my word. It's goal number 21 of the season for the Polish Haaland. I mean, is there hope? Is there time? On Bamidele, ball forward. De Silva holds it up nicely. Santiago to Severin. And from 20 yards out, he just dinks Henderson. I don't know what possessed him to go for that. I'm glad it did possess him. It's a 1-goal game. I'm going to encourage, and I'm not changing anything else. I don't want to... Look, we're Amanda. I'm just going for it. My head's gone. The fact that it's been as close as it is kind of mental. There's 10 minutes left here. We've got a free kick. We can't win this game, can we, from here? De Silva stood over it. Please. Hits it. Just over the bar. I feel like at this point, 10 minutes left, I've not got a lot to lose. I'm going to take Santiago and switch him to Mazzala. Valdir, I want to move into the... I want to move Valdir into the middle. Please, Football Manager, let me put him in the middle. Thank you. I mean, look, I'm just drawing pretty patterns at this point. Does anyone else's head go in cup finals when weird stuff starts happening? Or is that a me issue? I've made all my subs, unless we can make it to extra time. We're going to go with this. Let's see what happens. Confirm the changes. 10 minutes for a goal. We'll probably concede immediately. I mean, there is a highlight right away. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Ball played over to Palmer. Richards wins it. Aronson back to Almeida. Palmer with the ball. Rashford wide to Yul. Options in the middle. It's played in. I shouldn't have changed anything. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking around for inspiration. I mean, at least it's been an entertaining cup final, right? If we turned up here and just lost 1-0 to Manchester United, I would have felt sad. I don't think this cup final is going to be memorable for necessarily the right reasons. I think I've had fun, though. Maybe I'm trying to convince myself. If they score another, I'm not having fun. Ruiz has made a stop. Can't believe it. Never thought I'd see the day. And if we get one back now, then the hope comes back, doesn't it? That's the worst thing. A goal here and I start to believe it could be possible. Gurajaga, Severin is through. Takes it down nicely. De Silva can't quite get on the end of it. Of course, we have got a lot of men running forward. It is going to leave us exposed at the back. Palmer is just vibing, completely open on the near side. Fofana, Almeida has quite a lot of time and space there to pick out his pass, and it's now on the near side. Manchester United looking dangerous going forward on this near side. Just conceded one from here. We could be about to concede another. The ball is blocked. It's blocked again. We are throwing bodies at the ball, and in the end, it's offside. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Corner. Jadon Sancho over it. He whips it in. I think that's hit Omar Richards and gone in. I mean, I feel like everything that could have gone wrong today has just gone wrong. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. Maybe the Conference League will have to wait for a year. It's gonna have to wait for a year. I mean, congratulations, Manchester United, I suppose. Like, well done, you've won. They've won this competition 4 years in a row. You'd think they get bored of it. I mean, between the red card, the own goal, and just all the other weirdness in between, it's been entertaining for the neutral. I mean, I just feel sad watching them lift the trophy. I'll be completely honest. I feel empty inside. I mean, it's Manchester United. They don't even care about the EFL Cup, do they? That confetti falling. It could have been us. Could have been us. Post-match. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. We were underdogs. You gave it your best shot. They all hate me. I'll level with you. It's not exactly the high I wanted to end the week with. But we have lost in our first cup final. Manchester United have won it 4 years in a row. Kone's out for a few days with a pulled hamstring. Maybe I should have kept him on the pitch. Diano is... you know what? I'm fining him 2 weeks' wages. I don't care if that goes against protocol. He's upset me. I don't want to talk to the press. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to go and lay down and cry. I mean, look at this. Top assister, top goal scorer. We did also break the record for most goals in the competition as well. And, well, biggest overachievers, FC United. Well done. I think they made it to the quarterfinals, which, considering they're in the Championship and that was considered the overachievement, that gives you an idea of how smaller a club FC United are in this world of Football Manager, despite all the success they've had. So you're probably wondering, Jack, what is the plan for next episode? The honest answer is I'm going to see how we go in the FA Cup. If we can go on a little bit of a run, if we make it to, say, the semi-final, which is the board expectation, we're going to come back for that on Monday. If we get knocked out of it, we are going to come back for the end of the season. I think that's the plan. I mean, at this point, promotion is a certainty. We're going to be winning the league. We have got FC United on the last game of the season, so I feel like that's quite a nice game to do. Maybe not have all the highlights from that game shown, just kind of the goals and a shorter edit, I suppose, of all the best chances. And then from there, we've got a lot to talk about because we have got to start planning for a Premier League campaign. We've got quality. I'm a little bit scared for what the board's expectations are going to be first year in the Premier League. But with the team that we've got, I feel very confident I could get a top half finish in the Premier League. I feel like that would be I suppose, something to aim for. It has also just dawned on me, that is the first game we've lost all season outside of the penalty shootout to Southampton, which I'm not going to count because we did win it on aggregate. So yeah, good winning run comes to an end. We are still unbeaten in the league. I don't want to say it too loudly. It's only 10 games left. We've only drawn 3 games out of 36, which is absolutely mad. Yeah, this team that we've got is very good. That makes the fact that we just bottled that cup final even more upsetting. I'm going to curl up in a fetal position and cry for a while. Hopefully, after the weekend, I'll feel better about things. And on Monday, I can come back with a smile on my face. Let me know what you made of that cup final. Pretty bonkers game. Also, if you've got any thoughts on the squad, any tactical stuff that I did during the game, let me know what you thought. I mean, the one silver lining is that Severin scored an absolutely nutty goal. I feel like this guy's really special. He is a silver lining on a dark day for Crystal Palace. Hopefully, he can continue to do his thing for this year and beyond. I feel like he could be a man to really, really build around. Have a lovely couple of days. I will see you on Monday for more Part 2 Prem action. And until then, it is me, Jack, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.